My name is Anna. I live with my grandmother in a small house near the old post office. Our walls are full of photographs, but one frame has always been empty. Grandma says that photo once had a man's face, my grandfather's, but she burned it many years ago. She never speaks about him. Whenever I ask, she just says, "Some letters are better left unopened." I didn't understand what that meant when I was younger. I only knew that every time the mailman walked by, she looked out the window, her eyes full of something between hope and regret. Our house smells of old books and jasmine tea. Grandma spends her evenings knitting by the window while I do my school homework. We don't have much, but we have peace. Quiet, gentle peace. At least, that's what I thought. Until one afternoon, I found something that changed everything.
It was a rainy Tuesday. The wind pushed the curtains, and a few drops of water came in through the cracks. I was cleaning Grandma's old desk, the one she never let me touch. When I moved a stack of yellowed envelopes, I heard a faint click. A small hidden drawer slid open from the side. Inside was a single envelope, old, soft, and torn at the edges. Across the front, in faded ink, was my grandmother's name. "To Mary, with love." The handwriting was shaky, but strong. And the postmark? It was from a town far away, dated more than 30 years ago. My hands trembled. Should I open it? Part of me said no, but curiosity felt stronger than fear. I slipped my finger under the flap and unfolded the fragile paper.
The letter was long, written in neat blue ink. The first line made me stop breathing. "Mary, I never meant to leave without goodbye. The sea took me farther than I planned, but not a day has passed without you in my heart." He wrote about storms, about missing trains, about sending letters that never came back. He said he dreamed of returning home, of holding her again. He ended with, "If this letter reaches you, know that I have always loved you." Tears blurred the ink. I sat there, holding the paper to my chest, imagining a younger version of Grandma, waiting, watching the window, maybe crying into the same teacup she still uses today. I didn't know whether to feel sad or angry. Why had she hidden it? Why burn the photograph but keep this?
That evening, when Grandma came back from the market, I couldn't stay quiet. I placed the letter on the table. She froze. Her hands began to shake. "Where did you find that?" she whispered. "In your desk," I said softly. "Why didn't you tell me about him?" Her eyes filled with tears. "I waited for years," she said. "Every morning I went to the post office, asking if there was a letter. The day I finally got it, it was too late." "What do you mean?" "He was gone, Anna. The ship he worked on sank the same week the letter arrived. I couldn't bear to read his words, knowing he would never return." Her voice broke. "I burned the photo, but I couldn't burn his love. So I hid the letter, hoping one day someone would find it when my heart was ready." I felt my own eyes fill. I took her hand. We sat together in silence, two women from different times, connected by one forgotten letter.
The next morning, the rain had stopped. Sunlight filled the kitchen. Grandma was already awake, making tea. She looked peaceful, lighter somehow. She handed me a small box.
Inside were a few seashells, a ring, and another photograph. Not burned, just worn with age. A young man stood by the sea, smiling, holding a letter in his hand. "He was going to come back, Anna," she said. But maybe the letter brought him home in another way. We decided to frame the photo again. The empty frame on our wall finally had a face. That day, our house didn't feel so quiet anymore. It felt alive, as if every corner whispered his name.
That evening, I sat by the same window Grandma used to wait at. I watched the postman walk by and thought about all the words that never reached the people they were meant for. Some people wait their whole life for a letter, a call, or a sign. But sometimes love travels slower than time itself, and that's okay. I looked at Grandma, smiling in her chair. I realized that forgiveness is not about forgetting the pain. It's about remembering the love behind it. And I finally understood what she meant when she said, "Some letters are better left unopened until the heart is ready to read them."